Day to everyone. I am Jorge Patiño and I am leading the project Urban Form and its impact on sustainable development. I lead the project, but this is a team effort in which Jairo, Mauricio, Juan Carlos, and Eduardo all work and contribute in important ways. As you know, teamwork makes the dream work. So in this project, um, for example, in project one, we focused on cities which we expect are going to grow fast in coming years. But in this project, we focus on the Latin American cities that have already reached a very high rate of urbanization to revisit several issues that they face at the moment to help improve urban sustainability and people's quality of life. And there are many topics that we are addressing. Among them, the transport infrastructure and its relation to crime outcomes, urban form features and their relationships with public health outcomes, with economic performance, and with institutional fragmentation and metropolitan coordination. We are also analyzing the socioeconomic stratification system and sociospatial segregation, the distribution of urban green spaces and environmental justice, active mobility, cycling, and also using street-level images for building seismic vulnerability assessment, which is quite important in our country because we have seismic hazard almost um, in the most densely populated areas of the country. Well, we can summarize this project with these highlights with early winnings up to the moment. The national government committed to review the Colombian socioeconomic stratification system after the UN expert group meeting on the topic that we helped to set up. We published a low-cost approach for seismic vulnerability assessment using deep learning and street-level images. Like I said before, this is quite needed in cities with small budgets. And a long-term analysis of the availability of urban green space by socioeconomic status in Medellin revealed that actually the middle class, and not the lowest, has been the least favored. And although the disparities have decreased in recent years, there is still much room to improve. And lastly, our analysis of built environment and health associations in Medellin and in Cali stressed the importance of urban green spaces for mental and cardiovascular health. Okay, our project in numbers. We have a number light in our Gantt diagram, and that is because a workshop with the Medellin's health office that were initially programmed to be on March this year, but it was pushed to the second half of the year because of the COVID emergency. And we don't know exactly what is going to happen, but if the workshop is finally cancelled, we will design a webinar to share the findings from the research done in Cali and Medellin on the topic of urban form and green space versus health. And we will invite public officers from both municipalities to the same event and also other researchers working on the topic from different universities here in Colombia. We have identified this group at Los Andes University, and we wish to involve other universities if possible. Regarding visitors, we had the visit of Kasem Rahimi at the beginning of the project to explore ways of collaborations, and indeed we landed one collaborations with them in the topic of built environment and health associations. We also took advantage of the retreat in Medellin, and we did an extra meeting with Andy Hong and Kasim to discuss our work about built environment and health here in Medellin. And also during the retreat, we had a visit from Lina Martinez from Cali to work on our collaboration with Andy, Kasim, and Juan Carlos about green space and health in Cali. Regarding the topics, I'm not going to dive in this now, as I just mentioned them before. Our academic production, we have started 9 papers in this project. From those 9 papers, we have 2 published papers, 1 accepted paper, 3 papers under review, and 3 papers in progress. Regarding our research network, We have collaborations in almost all of our papers with other universities in Medellin, Bucaramanga, and Cali in Colombia, and also along the PIC network with Oxford and with other universities abroad, like Syracuse University and the University of Twente, as well as with local institutions like Cali's City Hall and Medellin's Planning Office and Medellin's Health Office, and with multilateral institutions like the World Bank. And regarding media, we have been mentioned more than 20 times in news from local outlets and participated in several workshops and produced three peak urban blog posts about the impression of the visit to Bengaluru, the use of open data to analyze city growth, and environmental justice regarding urban green space availability in Medellin. And lastly, we are advising one master thesis about GDP or income distribution at intra-urban level in Medellin using remote sensing and machine learning methods. And how this project fits into the peak framing. Um, we think that regarding prediction, we have the integration of different approaches to analyze urban issues, also using multi-scale open geospatial data and combining it with survey data, and also documenting analysis and automating processes to allow reproducible research. Regarding the emergence, um, we are integrating the integration of different standpoints, and we are analyzing the interaction of different features within the built environment, like the transport infrastructure that improves crime outcomes, or the effect of the workplace environment in the public health indicators of the living place of people. Regarding adoption, we have triggered action from the Colombian national government in the review of the socioeconomic stratification system. And also, we have triggered action from the health office in Medellin, which calculated the mortality rates for the selected diseases at neighborhood level, which was the first time that they do this in history, and it was because of our requirement for our collaboration. And also we have secured funding to study built environment changes prompted by urban interventions with the World Bank. Regarding the knowledge exchange, we have exchange to collaborators and stakeholders, like I showed before in the previous slide. And we are actively working to enlarge our network, specifically with the German Aerospace Center and with Los Andes University, and also with the organization of the next joint urban remote sensing event that is going to happen in 2021 if the COVID emergency allows. And it's a very good opportunity to enlarge our network with people that also use remote sensing to study urban issues. Okay, regarding the research into use, this I think that it's a little bit of repeating here, but we have involved several stakeholders since the beginning of the project, and we have obtained support, data, or funding from the World Bank, the UN Habitat, and the Medellin Health Office. And the World Bank, for example, is interested in two topics: mapping urban inequality in Colombian cities, that is our in progress at the moment, and mapping neighborhoods built environment changes after urban intervention, that is our that is going to start later this year or early next year. Okay, regarding the academic outputs achieved, we have published two papers about one about the building typology estimation using street level images for seismic vulnerability assessment. Is very important for cities with small budgets, and also for cities which are located in high seismic hazard areas, like almost all of our cities in Colombia. And another paper about cycling travel distance in relation to cyclist demographics and built environment features in Medellin. The academic outputs to come, we have one already accepted conference paper about long-term urban green space availability by socioeconomic status in Medellin, three other papers under review about public transport and crime outcomes, cycling routes in Medellin, and institutional fragmentation and metropolitan coordination in Latin American cities, and three other papers in progress, two of them with more than 90% progress. And these are about urban green space and health in Cali, built environment and cardiovascular disease and diabetes in Medellin, and also about bicycle accessibility in Medellin. Regarding public-facing outputs, we have participated in 5 events, all international events, and we were accepted in one more that was cancelled. The first one was the joint urban remote sensing event in 2019. We were there presenting EAFIT University as host of the next joint urban remote sensing event that is going to be next year if the emergency allows. We then participated in CELPER 2019. CELPER is the conference of the Latin American Remote Sensing Practitioners Association. It was held in Bogota, but with people from other Latin American countries. We then participated in Colifree. That was a meeting with researchers from France and from Colombia. It was held in Medellin, but with researchers from other cities in Colombia and also from France. And in October, we participated in the Human Planet Forum. It was held in New York, but we participated in online mode. We delivered our presentation via Zoom. And we were accepted to participate, to present a work in the last year's 2020 conference. This is a conference from the Geoscience and Remote Sensing Society, and the International Photogrammetric Engineering and Remote Science Society in Latin America. It was going to be in Santiago de Chile, and it was cancelled because of the COVID emergency. I just keep repeating this because I've never been to Chile and I really wanted to see a bit of Santiago. We have published, like I said before, 3 blog posts about green spaces, open data, and also about the visit to Bengaluru. I have been invited also to be a guest lecturer at the National University of Colombia in Medellin in the Urban and Regional Planning School, where I helped they to set up the data and the methods for using spatial analysis and map algebra for an analysis about terrain suitability for urban growth. I have also participated in the writing of one brief about the importance of public green spaces now during the COVID emergency. And I was invited also to a broadcast interview. It was an 1-hour-long radio show in which I discussed some peak urban research findings with Professor Dr. Castañeda and Fernando Cortés, and we talk about the importance of open data and tools to do research, of communicating science to broader audiences, and to raise awareness about the benefits of urban green spaces and the imbalance in the availability for people from different socioeconomic status in our cities. And it was a very nice experience. It was like a conversation with your childhood friends, but about the topics that you really care about. So it was really, really nice. And regarding the public facing outputs to come, we plan to have 3 other briefs in a couple of months, to record a podcast about built environment and health in Colombia, to write at least another 2 or 3 blog posts about our work, and to attract local news outlets coverage, to set up the workshop or webinar about built environment and health in Colombia. And we are organizing the next joint urban remote sensing event that is planned for next year if the emergency allows. But we are working hard in this organization because we wanted to take that opportunity to enlarge our network. Regarding new ways of working, We are combining methods, qualitative and quantitative methods in our research, and this is in our collaboration with Eduard Calderon from the Urban team. We have collaborations with people from different academic fields and with different standpoints, that makes the discussions and the research very interesting. And we integrate different sorts of data in our analysis and with different scales. We integrate geospatial data, survey data, and data from experts from the expert panel also in our works for our analysis. We are now migrating from in-person research activities to virtual mode, and this is an expert panel that was designed to gather information about the intra-urban distribution of the GDP or income in Medellin that was planned to be in person at the beginning and now is fully implemented online using web tools. I'm quite happy with this work from our master student. We are also learning to write for non-academic audiences, and we are starting to use other ways of communicating research like podcasts, social networks, and the radio show. And actually, about the radio show, I am very happy with this experience also because one of my aunts sent my mother a message after the radio show saying that she didn't know what I was up to and that she had understood the importance of this work for the city and that she was very proud of me. And I have the audio to prove it, and it's why it is quite nice for me because they always say that if you can explain your research to your mom or to your aunts in a very simple way without jargon and those things, and they understand you, so you nailed it. And apparently, I did it, so I am quite happy with this. And lastly, developing ideas from this project, we have participated in several grant applications with the Oxford Martin program of informal cities for a large scale data collection on urban areas that wasn't successful. Another grant with the Working Group on Green Space and Wellbeing. It was a grant for a writing workshop about research on healthy cities in India. It wasn't successful also. And now we are participating with East Anglia University in a call for an application for the GCRF to map informal settlements and risk in Medellin. And I have to thank here to Edward Calderon, who led our participation in this grant, and which is ongoing at the moment. And we have networked with other researchers to explore new collaborations. We are, like I said before, exploring new collaborations with Professor Hans Stavenbock from the German Aerospace Center about population distribution in informal settlements in Medellin, and with Professor Olga Sarmiento from Los Andes University in topics related to built environment and health. Thank you very much. That's all for this project at the moment.